What's happening, ladies and gentlemen, on a Friday evening? It's been a while. Hopefully everybody's doing good. Hopefully the stream's good. It was giving me an error message as the intro was playing. Kind of freaking me out at first. But anyway, Eric's in the house. What's happening, man? Thanks for stopping by. But yeah, I was scared for a second. I was getting an error message that the stream was having issues. Not sure what the deal was. Hopefully everything's coming in good. But anyway, yeah, it's been a couple weeks, man. It's been a couple weeks. All the Warner Brothers crap that's going on. Man, what a ride. Conjuring 2 yesterday, nice. Is that out this week in the US? I'm not even sure. I'm pretty out of the loop as to what sort of I think A Quiet Place just came out. So not sure if I'll end up seeing that in theaters, but I really enjoyed the first one. I thought that was pretty awesome, especially for like John Krasinski's first movie. They did a pretty fantastic job with that. But I'm still getting this message here. Anyway, Eric, is the stream coming in good? Any issues sound or video wise that you're seeing? But yeah, back to Conjuring. I'm really looking forward to that. I think like the I guess the first two. I love those James Wan Conjuring movies. Like the spin-offs, like Annabelle and all. Oh, okay. Quiet Place. I think Conjuring's like June. But anyway, yeah. Looks good. All right. I dig it. Anyway, I do have a guest. Let's see if I can bring him in here. A lot of technical mumbo jumbo to deal with. Hang on a second. We'll get off that. There we go. Adam.
Can you hear me?
I can.
Awesome.
How's it going?
It's nice when the technology works, right?
Yeah. I'll see if I have to try and turn you up here on my end.
Check the levels.
Yep, add a little bit more gain.
There you go. Turn me up to 11.
All right. Eric, if you're still there, man, let me know how Adam's levels are.
How's my video looking?
You're
pretty good, right?
Your Bitmoji?
Yep.
All right.
People don't utilize the Bitmoji as often as they should.
Right. Adam, did you have a chance to see Army of the Dead yet?
No. I watched the trailer today, though, for the first time.
Okay. So you're sort of like a week out of the loop.
Yeah, I'm basically like a significant. I'm like a European or like somebody who lives in like Russia or like Eastern Europe. You know, they watch shows. They're probably still watching like
Baywatch.
Yeah, basically. That's me.
Okay.
But yeah, it looked pretty rad. I used to be a big fan of like the Black Ops video games with the zombies. I played quite a bit of that, so
Oh, right.
kind of gave me that vibe a little bit, like just an action-packed, fun, shoot 'em up kind of movie.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I wanted to kind of get into this Joker news. It's not like it's a ton of news or really anything like that, but I just thought it'd be kind of a good discussion to have. So Joker was a pretty big phenomenon. You know, like I kind of knew the movie would do well, but like, I mean, it crossed that $1 billion mark, which is pretty pretty spectacular. Not many movies do that. And I mean, even for like, I mean, for the comic book movie genre, I mean, like, yeah, Marvel's always the ones that has the $1 billion hits. I mean, Aquaman crossed $1 billion too. But anyway, people always judge a movie based on like if it crossed the $1 billion mark. And Joker just like shattered expectations, and you know, it sweeped the awards sort of, I don't know, all the award shows, you know, not Jared Leto. Joaquin Phoenix was, you know, stepping up, grabbing the trophy, doing his speeches.
Oh, what a speech.
Yeah. But then after like Joaquin won the Oscar for Best Actor, and you know the movie made $1 billion. Like everybody's wondering, is the movie gonna get a sequel? Well, initially there were reports like maybe around Oscar time, you know, that whole fall time period. There were early reports that they were working on a sequel, but then it was like shortly debunked after that. So let's go to this layout here. So this is from The Observer, but this whole article, Joker director Todd Phillips to bank $100 million payday as sequel gets rolling. So this was November 20th, 2019. I think the movie came out like October 6th or something like that. And it just talks about like how the movie made $1 billion, but the way they sort of like Warner Brothers didn't want to fully invest, or I guess front the money for the budget. So like Village Roadshow stepped in. So that sort of changed how, I guess, the gross profits would be split at the end. So Warner Brothers hardly got any money. And I mean, they got their money back, obviously, but they didn't really profit all that much off the movie. It was more Village Roadshow, Todd Phillips. Joaquin Phoenix probably had a huge-ass bonus. But then, update, the same day. Deadline is now reporting that Phillips and Warner Brothers are not currently in talks regarding a Joker sequel. The next day, Todd Phillips denied having serious conversations with WB regarding a Joker sequel, the Playlist reports. Some website. Phillips is said to have deferred his upfront salary on Joker in exchange for a greater percentage of the adjusted gross, which reportedly included between 10 and 13% on the back end. I think that's pretty huge.
Dang. That's how you do it right there.
Yeah, well, I think like Alec Guinness made a shit ton off like Star Wars back in '77, but he only had like 1.5%, and he still made like a ton of money. With the movie emerging as the fourth DC film to cross the $1 billion mark, he's set to earn around $100 million for his trouble. Man, I wish I had that kind of trouble. But anyway, recently, I think it was yesterday or the day before, back again, Joker 2, Todd Phillips reportedly returns to co-write script. Now, I mean, you can't, like, a movie that crosses $1 billion, or, I mean, like, even when it gets to, like, it obviously depends on its budget and all that good stuff, but, like, I feel like once it crosses 500, 600, 700, it's due to at least have some sort of sequel, or at least an attempt at like trying to come up with something. But anyway, so this sort of came buried in a Hollywood Reporter article listing Hollywood's most powerful lawyers, was the tidbit that Todd Phillips has apparently struck a deal to co-write the next Joker installment. Now, it's important to note that the outlet has previously come under fire when it comes to reporting Joker sequel news, even some that was directly shot down by Phillips himself, kind of the article that I was just talking about. But even if a sequel doesn't eventually materialize, it would be foolish of Warner Brothers to not at least explore the possibilities. In addition to directing the first film, Phillips also co-wrote the script alongside Scott Silver. Now, let's just sort of get into the idea if they should even do a sequel for this. I mean, I'll watch it regardless, but like that first Joker movie, I feel like wrapped up so well, and like I just feel like it was the sort of like good all-around package. You know, it was like taking this comic book character, this supervillain that's had so many different iterations, and you know, obviously there's like aspects of like Heath Ledger's Joker and different stuff about that, and like incorporating like mental illness and all of that stuff. But like, do you think, like, are you down with having a sequel to Joker?
Oh man, yeah, I think so. I mean, I guess like, I hate to say it, but I just like, I can't help but want that to be another Joker versus Batman type of movie. And it's like, I know we've gotten that multiple times previously, but it's like I just crave that. I think that, you know, watching the animated series and
Yeah.
movies over the years, I just feel like I mean, they are whatever you call it, a diode or what do you call it? They're a destined pair, a pairing. You know what I mean? Like they are just meant to be together in every way, and
Yin and yang.
It's better when they're together. It just is. So, I mean, I would like to see it. I think there's a lot of room to expand on and move forward from the first one. I don't need a rehashing of why he is the way he is, but I'd love to see like how he builds a crime syndicate and leverages the madness and chaos that he created at the end of the last movie. So
Right.
there's definitely a lot of places you could go with it, but I think it's going to be 2020 in hindsight. It's going to be like, well, if it's good, then it's like, yeah, I'm glad they made it. But if it sucks, then I'm going to be like, yeah, I knew they shouldn't have made it. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm not a movie producer, man.
Well, and like this sort of like goes on the heels of like Netflix like recently announced like the streaming numbers for Army of the Dead, and it was like an outrageous number of like 77 million within its first week.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that tracking like isn't there some noise to those numbers though? Like are those like people that click to start playing it? Like are they also tracking who watched and finished the whole movie?
Yeah. They might have sort of a certain like standard to how that's like calculated, like if they have to watch like 20 or 30 minutes before that like counts as like a view. I don't know. But the record for the most, or I guess the film with the most streams is that Chris Hemsworth Extraction movie, which I didn't think was really any good.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh, okay. I think it came out like a year ago. Like it was the Russo brothers like first kind of like produced movie post like Avengers. Mm-hmm. So I mean maybe that was the only reason like it was popular, but I don't know. Anyway, that was after 4 weeks, so like 99 million after 4 weeks. So if Army of the Dead, you know, does half of what it did this weekend, you know, it's easily on its way to surpass that movie as the most streamed movie on Netflix. But like, I don't know. To me, like Warner Brothers has just dug themselves in such a deep hole. Like with they've definitely made their fair share of like poor decisions. But like the Joker, the whole way they handled it, like Todd Phillips like has spoken on interviews how like they didn't really want him to make this movie, and from when he came in and like pitched the idea and to it sort of like getting greenlit and then eventually like rolling cameras, there was like a change of guards. You know, like Kevin Tsuchihara, who was like the previous like Warner Brothers CEO, was like he got Me Too'd and like had to like resign or got fired. And then, you know, Walter Hamada, who is the current DC Films president for Warner Brothers, came in after Justice League, and you know, like there was all this like crisscross of executives going on at Warner Brothers while he was like trying to make this movie, and they were like trying to sort of like just give him such a little budget to like just, I don't know, make it hard for him to you know, do pre-production or, you know, make the movie entirely. And like in that article I mentioned, like he forfeited or gave up his salary in order to make the movie. Like I don't know, maybe he gave up his salary and that sort of like went to the budget of the movie, and then he'd just get like points or the bonus on the back end, how he got that like 12 or 13 points of the overall gross profit, right? But yeah, I just feel like now that it's success, Warner Brothers wants to, you know, make the movie, where before, when it sounded like a fantastic idea from the beginning, where Todd Phillips was going to kind of do like a Martin Scorsese-esque kind of like crime drama, right, with Joaquin Phoenix playing the Joker. Like as soon as I heard that, I was like stoked for it.
Like
but now,
driver.
Yeah, but now it's just like Warner Brothers just wants to cash in on the cash cow, milk it some more.
Yep.
But I mean, if Todd Phillips has an awesome idea, I'm down with that too. But I don't know. I'm just so jaded on those WB executives that it's just like, I don't know. It's a little bit hard to get on board with it. But I just thought the movie wrapped up so good that, you know, I'm totally fine with just having that one movie too. So
yeah. Well, everybody knows that the track record for sequels is not exactly the greatest. You know, there's a select few that are able to make a contribution and leave a good standing impression in the history of film. So I don't know. It's risky. It's risky business, and it is a cash grab. You know, it's just kind of like that's exactly what it is it's just milking it more. So
yeah.
But hopefully they can make it enjoyable, and I don't know. I think they need to figure out what their plan is, what their identity is, because if there's a lot going on as far as what's happening and not happening with who's going to be the faces of these characters over the next few years. You got a lot of decisions to make, and they just keep making movies in the midst of changes that are constantly happening. It's like it just seems super disorganized, and it's hard to get excited about it when you don't really know what's gonna happen, and it doesn't give you a lot of time to anticipate, you know,
right,
looking forward to a movie.
Right. Well, I mean, the whole Justice League fiasco where like Ben Affleck he was gonna write, direct, and star as the Batman, and I was over the moon excited for that, to see that. And he was gonna have like Joe Manganiello as like Deathstroke and all that, and you know, like it started out like he was doing press for like his movie Live by Night, and he was just getting hammered with questions. And during all this, he was like having to deal with like Justice League reshoots and all of that. And then people just kept asking him about the Batman and didn't give a shit about his own movie that he just made, you know? Right. And then it went from him directing, writing, and starring to it to, well, now I'm writing it with Jeff Johns. And then that went into, I'm not going to direct it. You know, I'll be in it, but, you know, I'm not going to direct it. Well, then it went into, I'm not in it at all.
Yeah.
You got Matt Reeves in there, and then
Robert Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson. And, you know, it's just like, in Warner Brothers, it's just like, well, we got this Batman movie. Matt Reeves is going to write a script. 3 years later, it's now shooting, but you have Ben Affleck that's in the Flash movie still as Batman and Bruce Wayne, but it's just it's just so disorganized. And
so let me ask you this, because I think like it's easy and it's you know, it's hard not to want to, you know, I by all means, don't get me wrong, I would love to see the Snyderverse restored and keep moving forward in the direction that we, the where we left off with Zack Snyder's Justice League. But hypothetically speaking, say that does not happen, and you have a Robert Pattinson Batman, and you have a sequel in writing, on the way with Joaquin Phoenix. Do you find the idea of Robert Pattinson and Joaquin Phoenix, the potential, if that is in the future a possibility, a compelling pairing for that rivalry?
Well, when Joker first came out, that's kind of what I thought it could have been. But Joker takes place in like 1981, and Matt Reeves' Batman movie, that started filming like maybe a little over a year ago at this point, and it takes place during like modern day, so I don't know how they would really, because young Bruce
Right.
Wayne and Arthur Fleck meet at the Wayne Manor gate,
Right.
so they have a exchange of
That's right.
they have an exchange of
older
words, and Arthur's like really creepy to Bruce, and then like Alfred's kind of like standing in the back,
Right.
telling Bruce to like come on or something like that. But yeah, I'd be totally down for that. And Warner Brothers has stated that Robert Pattinson's Batman movie is Earth 2, I believe, so it's in the multiverse, so and that's one of the thing that like all the fans of the Snyderverse were like hopeful, with Zack Snyder's Justice League coming out, and like after DC Fandom back in like August of last year, DC was really hammering like the multiverse and like championing it, and just like really expressing like, well, all of the fans can sort of like have their fandom and it'll be explored and stuff like that. Well, I mean, they have Michael Keaton coming back for that Flash movie, and Ben Affleck's in it as Batman too. So you have two Batmen in the movie. But like, as soon as Zack Snyder's Justice League came out, well, it came out on like a Thursday. The following Monday, Ann Sarnoff, the Warner Brothers current CEO, put out a statement saying that like she pretty much just had all these like bullet points she wanted to touch on, and it was like, we're thankful that Zack got to complete his vision, but no, we'll not be continuing with I don't know. That he completed his trilogy, even though it's supposed to be 5 movies.
Yeah,
and then
even though the cow's just bursting with milk to be milked.
Yeah,
I mean, this Bessie is just ready for pumping, baby. And she's like, "Nah, we're good. We're moving to a different farm."
Right. Meanwhile, their films like Shazam and Birds of Prey, which are the recent sort of like, Aquaman was in production like before Justice League even sort of like came out, but like post Justice League, their new sort of like timeline or whatever, with their producers being able to kind of move away from the Snyderverse. Shazam and Birds of Prey, I don't even think crossed 200. Well, Shazam may have made like $300 million worldwide, but I think Birds of Prey made only $220 million worldwide, which I think lost the studio money.
Yeah, I still haven't watched either of those movies.
Oh, you haven't? Hey, they're on HBO Max.
I know, but I kind of like to watch movies that look good, Yeah.
Generally
by best practice.
Right. Well, I mean, like I was I went into like Shazam thinking it's gonna be like sort of like a family movie, which it basically is, but I don't know. It's kind of a different thing, you know.
Right.
But the thing is, though, like it has good tie-ins to like Batman v Superman, like Billy Batson is the kid that like plays Shazam, you know, like can turn into Shazam. His like best friend Freddy has like a bullet that was like shot at Superman, and I think he even also has a batarang.
A bangarang?
Batarang.
I'm just kidding.
So it has good tie-ins, but I don't know. It's just it's so frustrating with these Warner Brothers producers, and I don't know. It's like you could create a podcast just talking about those morons over there. Like there's so much news to talk about, like those idiots.
Maybe maybe Disney is secretly pouring money into padding their pockets to steer the ship into the iceberg.
Yeah. Eric says, I'm extremely nervous about this with everything going on. I think this was in reference to just the Joker news. And sometimes these like movie studios will like put something out when there's like either something that's like talking negative about them. They'll use it to like distract, you know? Like Ray Fisher, who plays Cyborg, he was calling out. He called out like Jeff Johns, Joss Whedon, John Berg, and like an hour or two later, an article was put out that like Jeff Johns and John Berg are doing a Frosty the Snowman movie with Jason Momoa as Frosty. Yeah. So it's just like distraction. It's like freaking Battleship out there with freaking Hollywood trade articles.
I don't even think that's physically possible. Momoa would melt the snow with his hot bod.
Right. Well, as soon as I saw that, I was like,
moldering.
I was like, is Frosty still gonna keep the eyebrow scar?
Yeah.
That Jason Momoa has. Valentin Perez, no one's universe dies like Harry Osborn, New Goblin, James Franco, Spider-Man trilogy, Sam Raimi. Well, yeah, Harry Osborn. No one's universe dies like Harry Osborn, New Goblin, James Franco. I don't know what you mean there.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
I mean,
maybe
Norman Osborn,
the Spider-Man movie.
Norman Osborn goes out with a pretty good death scene at the end of that first Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, doesn't he get killed by his own?
Yeah, his glider.
Glider, yeah.
Yeah, he tries to like sneak attack, like remote fly it and kill Peter when they're like fighting in that cemetery.
Harry
and then
dies in Peter's arms, right?
I don't remember. It's been a while since I've watched 3.
Because it's good. It's because it's that good.
Yeah. Right. Yep. But I suppose we could touch on this here.
Ooh.
Zack Snyder directs the Late Show Snyder Cut. I didn't even realize Stephen Colbert still had a show.
Yeah. Like he mentions that it's on right before James Corden or whatever, right?
I don't remember.
In that video, he says like he offered him to direct the show, and he's like, oh cool, I love the car. What is it called? The karaoke in the car.
Oh,
James
okay.
Corden plays,
Yeah.
Sing. Is that his name, James Corden? Am I getting that right?
That sounds right.
Yeah, James Corden.
Okay.
Yeah, he does karaoke in the car with the celebrities, where they sing in the car, and Zack Snyder's like, no, it's the one before that. Oh, okay.
But I thought
even he didn't know that this was this. I mean, it's all acting, anyways. But they made. I thought about how he didn't know what it was that he had a show.
Oh, okay. I thought this whole like sketch was hilarious, man. Like Zach totally like hams up the like Hollywood director sort of vibe, you know, like the kind of cliche kind of like director tropes.
Do you think he was basically just trying to be Michael Bay?
Yeah, exactly. Like they were probably like, he probably like walked in. All right, what do you guys want me to do? And they're like, just be like Michael Bay. It's like, got it. But like I mean, he did so good on this. Like the comedic timing was there. Like I didn't think really Stephen Colbert was really funny at all, but like I feel like Zach could like host SNL one day. And like, sure, this is edited and like put together, but still, man, like I thought the comedic timing was there.
Right. Well, I feel like with what he does, like he has to be able to get in a room and present his vision in front of people. Like
that's
for
true.
A living, like he has to get a movie off the ground, or at least like if he's gonna write it and be really involved in it the way he is with all his movies.
Yeah,
you know, like he goes from like even sketching out his own little storyboard sketches for his movies to try to get a vision going. So like he's got to be able to articulate that with his words and with his being persuasive and having a lot of personality in order to get these producers to throw money at it, right? So you can see that he's charismatic. He's a really charismatic guy. It shows in this stuff. Whether it's like you said, it's not like the greatest believable comedic acting that's ever happened, but it's impressive for just being a director. Certainly has more chops for that kind of stuff than most others. So I'd rather watch him doing this than like Kevin Smith doing it.
Yeah. I think Quentin Tarantino would have been good too.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He does it. He's same thing. Like really similar. Like, you know, the guy in Tarantino's, he's pretty much always in his own movies, but
yeah,
like these guys, there's a reason they're the ones that make the movies. They get it. They know what it takes to deliver a performance, because it's what they do. Is they can see it. They see it on set every day. So it kind of, you know, it doesn't surprise me that he knows to a certain degree what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was pretty freaking hilarious, man. Better than like anything I've really seen on SNL lately.
But yeah, I would agree about the Colbert thing. I think I'm not a big fan, and he always comes off like he has to try really hard. Everything's always there's always so much effort, or you know what I mean? It comes off thick every time he tries to be funny. It's always like, okay, you know, haha. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people like him, so whatever, but that's fine.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious to see like your reaction to Army of the Dead.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite Snyder movie.
Do Do they use dragon glass?
No.
Oh. You mean their bullets aren't made out of dragon glass?
No, just regular bullets. But like, you can watch this movie and just be like a surface level viewer, but like if you want to dig deep, you can really sort of like latch on to some awesome stuff that's in the movie and sort of theorize in your head what might be going on.
Mm-hmm.
So, seeds, like he has a prequel series or a prequel movie. It's a German movie with Dieter, who's like the safecracker. Mm-hmm. And it's Army of Thieves, and it takes place a little bit before Army of the Dead. And then there's also, I think, a prequel anime series that's coming out too. And it's just going to flesh it out, even more. But
nice.
I'm sure, if the numbers are massive for Army of the Dead, that Netflix will probably greenlight a sequel for it. And that'll be cool. But, obviously us fans want to see the Snyderverse restored, but at the same time, it's like, well, do you want Zack Snyder to like have to go back to working with those assholes over there at WB?
Get Gal Gadot back with Joss Whedon again?
Right.
I think all the actors' salaries would have to get bumped up quite a bit.
Yeah. Well,
get the gang back together.
Yeah. Well, after Justice League, Warner Brothers and HBO, they gave Joss Whedon a series. Like he had something he had written. Right. It was The Nevers. And
yeah, right.
I think
I watched wait. Yeah. No, I didn't watch it.
It's like a fantasy series anyway.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
But anyway, they pulled his name off of it, so it's like he's not getting any credit on the show anymore. But I don't really see him sort of getting any more work. I think the studios probably have shown him the door. It's just like, yeah, they probably have no hard feelings against the guy.
Yeah.
But like, because the studio's not the one that he like mistreated, it's all the women and actors over the years. But I just think like they just don't want to be involved with like that guy's name. So he's just gonna go do whatever that guy does. And I don't know.
We could get James Gunn instead.
I don't know.
They clearly don't mind getting involved with him.
I know. They got the Peacemaker series.
I'm not really sure what. It's pretty hypocritical. I did watch The Nevers, about like a third of the first episode. And then I got pretty bored.
I just recall it being kind of a fantasy series, but I'd never planned on watching
These leading ladies, they were rocking it with some, well, maybe they were stunt doubles, but they were kicking some tail, man.
Nice.
It was pretty action packed with some martial art, some fighting and fisticuffs.
Nice.
It's impressive. Magic too, I think, a little bit, maybe.
Okay. But back to Army of the Dead, like I was saying, like, do you care if I touch on? I'm not gonna like spoil it or anything like that, but
no, I don't.
Well, I guess how much do you know about the movie? You said you watched the trailer recently.
Yeah, I saw that. I guess I roughly see like who the cast is, and that's about it.
Yeah. Well, it's got Dave Bautista. I mean, it's got a cast of not necessarily unknowns, but
It's got Hiroyuki Sanada,
yeah, that's true.
the man.
The woman that's in Nacho Libre,
Yeah, Ana de la Reguera.
and then the guy that plays Dieter, the safe cracker, he was in. Was it? Was it Inglourious Bastards or was it Valkyrie? One of those. I think he played a Nazi soldier in it. But I think he's a pretty big German star overseas.
Is that Matthias Schweighöfer?
Yeah, I think so.
Schweighöfer? What about Tig Notaro? You like Tig Notaro?
I mean, I literally had no clue who she was until she got hired to be digitally replacing Chris D'Elia. So when you watch this movie, every scene she's in, they digitally put her in the film. So, Jesus. I mean, it's crazy. Have a good one, Eric. We'll see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, so it's nuts, man. Like you probably had no clue until I just said it, right?
No.
Okay. Well, sure, you might be paying attention a little bit more now that you know that was the case, but like it's so seamless. Like there's visually, like you can't tell it's green screen. Like it looks so flawless, man. It's phenomenal. Like
what this guy Lion Beckwith. Have you seen Lion Beckwith?
I don't know who that is.
All right, can you share your screen and pull up Lion Beckwith on Google or IMDb or something? Do the Google search because it'd be great if you could show what I'm looking at, because this guy, he's an entertainer. This one, I mean, look at that. Come on now.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So get up in those ones on the top left up in there. Look at this. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Go ahead, keep going. Get that fourth one now. Don't be shy.
Well, now he's got the mullet. Did he get rid of the mullet?
Yeah.
It looks like the same photo.
He's got it tied back a little bit. He's just got a ponytail going. This is my favorite right here. There you go. Click. Yeah.
Why am I looking at this?
Well, he's in the movie.
Oh, who does he play?
There's no character listed.
Oh.
It's blank. Everyone else has a character name. Chris D'Elia or whatever doesn't have a character name listed.
Yeah. Well, it may be the same character because the other actors in the movie, refer to the character as, I don't remember the character's name. She goes by like her last name. She's like the helicopter pilot, so
maybe he's a stunt double.
Could be, or he just plays like a zombie,
Yeah. A zombie with a 42-pack abs. Everybody in the Zack Snyder movies have 42 abs. It's a minimum prerequisite.
God.
And if you don't have them, we'll spray them on, man. Done. I was thinking Dave Bautista. He might be a good Frosty the Snowman. Shoot. No, well, you could have him. Keep him for Frosty 2. Momoa doesn't want to do it, then you got Batista for Frosty too.
Do you remember the Michael Keaton?
Jack Frost.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's a good movie.
I actually got to set the projector back when, movie theaters actually used film. I got to set the projector because it was my birthday, and I got to go up and I got to put the movie in focus.
Nice.
Yeah.
For Jack Frost?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But, yeah, dude, you got to watch Army of the Dead, man. Come on, you're like the last person on the planet to watch the thing.
There's no way that's true.
Well, yeah, probably not, but still.
But I'm going to watch it.
Come on, it's like the talk around the water cooler at work, man. It's like, hey, have you seen Army of the Dead yet? It's that new Zack Snyder movie on Netflix.
This morning we were talking about whether or not Styx was a good band.
Well, which iteration?
Styx, the band.
Well, I know, but which,
You're talking about Dennis DeYoung versus
yeah,
it's Shaw. Is that what you're talking about?
It's like night and day.
No, that's part of what we were talking about.
Well, it's like Van Halen and Van Hagar.
That's what I said, but then they said, no, you can't compare Styx to Van Halen. That's like they did,
Well, I'm not
comparing the band. I'm comparing the vocalist comparison.
Right. Yeah. And the vibe.
That's what I said. But, Now that's a debate topic for another day.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't even have a water cooler. We just have a coffee machine and a drinking fountain. Does a drinking fountain count? It's kind of weird to hang out around a drinking fountain.
I thought drinking fountains were canceled.
Well, it's not really like in the public space. It's kind of secluded.
Oh, okay. So it's like an employee-only drinking fountain.
For the most part, it's down the hallway a little bit.
All right. We've got Craig stopping by. I fell asleep, damn it. When you watch Army of the Dead, pay attention to the sky when the convoy leaves. There you go, Adam.
So basically, while I'm watching the whole movie, I'll be looking at the sky.
No, just the first 10 minutes.
Oh, in the first 10 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah, Craig, Adam hasn't watched Army of the Dead yet, so I'm trying not to be too spoilery.
I'm trying. I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna look for the sky, but I might get distracted at Lion Beckwith's glistening 40 pack with that hair.
You'll be watching Army of the Dead, and you'll just be looking for that dude the entire time.
Dude.
That's funny. But Zach used this super shallow lens to shoot the entire movie. I don't mind it at all. Like, it's a little jarring at first, but then you just sort of get used to it. But I mean, like, my camera that I have, it's a pretty blurred background, but like the movie, it's even more blurred than like what mine is. But there's like a ton of people online just like complaining about it.
Must all be film directors.
Yeah. Keyboard warriors.
Yep, keyboard warriors. Yeah. That'll be the next film, Army of the Keyboard Warriors.
Right.
The dead ones.
There was the Snyder cut actually made it on The Simpsons. there was a segment where there were a couple groups of protesters, and it was, god damn, I have to look it up now.
Now I want to know what's in the sky. What he's talking about.
Hey, like I said, man, you can watch the movie casually, or you can
like wear.
It's like how.
What do you mean?
Well, it's like how deep does the rabbit hole actually go?
Oh, all right, Morpheus.
Well, there's just like you can watch it surface level, or you can really sort of peel back the layers and kind of really get into the idea and like concept that he's trying to like drive home. But let me share this again. So
unreleased the Snyder. Stop making things.
The banner, the light blue banner above it says designated troll protest zone. I believe.
Hollywood ruins movies.
Right. Even though like Hollywood's the one that makes them.
That's a great sign. Because that's kind of the way things are presented. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like everyone should be thankful that they're getting anything instead of being keyboard warriors.
Yeah. Craig said the lights in the sky bit is in the first 2 minutes.
That's perfect for me.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'll watch the whole movie.
Dude. The actual villain of the movie is in the first 2 minutes. Yeah, the whole opening scene of Army of the Dead, like, it's hilarious and just, I don't know, it's just a pretty funny way to set up the movie.
So you're telling me that they superimposed Tig Notaro into scenes that she wasn't in?
Yeah.
Well, why?
Because Chris D'Elia was, he had a bunch of accusations against him that he was like, he had
she wouldn't be in it?
No, Chris D'Elia. No, Chris D'Elia had accusations against him that he was like sexually assaulting underage women. Yeah. And that was after he shot the movie.
Oh.
So when those accusations came up, Netflix, made the decision to remove him from the film, and Zach shot her separately and digitally imposed her in the film. So in the movie,
do they play the same character?
I believe so, yeah.
Ah, okay. Gotcha. All right.
Yeah, it was just sort of gender swapped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was in the Stephen Colbert thing, the Zack Snyder's Late Show, that they talked about it. How I thought it was that. They replaced Chris D'Elia, this guy who is, has these sexual assault allegations, and they replaced him with a lesbian feminist.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like
extreme to the extreme.
Weren't the girls 17 and it was texting? I'm not super educated on it, but I guess I'm just kind of talking about what I thought I remember reading back when it first came out. But
yeah, that's why if you're gonna get comedians, you gotta get good ones.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of the
hire TJ Miller for something like this, man.
Yeah, he had something too.
Yeah.
All these comedians are coming out with all these scandals.
Well, Yeah.
But yeah, so they digitally imposed Tig Notaro in
Well,
the movie.
everything everybody says is so accessible right now. So they say something offensive to anyone, which I'm not saying they shouldn't be offended. Like they have the right to be. That's their feelings and whatever. So I'm not gonna get on that conversation. But like the availability of all of that information and how quickly you can get your fingertips on it, it's like you gotta maybe have a little more filter than you had before, back in the day. So if you want to be in the movies, you gotta, it's like Uncle Ben said, with great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
Uncle Ben from Spider-Man, not Uncle Ben from like the mashed potatoes in the grocery store. Just to clarify,
Yeah,
you know which Uncle Ben I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Craig says my wife was shocked when I told her the actress wasn't really there for the whole film. Dude, it's mind blowing. It's so good. Like, you can't, like, I knew going into it, and like I was a little distracted just because I knew that was the case and I was constantly looking for it. But like, it looks like she was literally there the entire time. And like even the eye lines, like you can sort of tell like the direction they're like looking at. Like, it's nuts, man.
Yeah, if they can nail the eyes, that's gonna make it lifelike,
Yeah.
like they're a conscious being.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yeah, she literally, I think she had one scene with it was the woman from Nacho Libre. She had one scene, and I think it was because, now I'm forgetting it. What was the reason?
She had to go to her quarters for some toast.
No. I forget. But anyway, there was some circumstance that, they had to do it. They had to be like together and shoot the scene. But yeah, other than that, like she was doing like press with like other cast members, and she had never like met them like in person before, or like ever, I think. Because they shot the movie like a year and a half ago or something like that. But anyway, it's just fascinating, and like what you can like do with technology now, and like how good it is. It's pretty mind blowing. Like Zach was even doing like press with like he was using the volume, the curved background screen that they use for The Mandalorian.
Right.
He was just using that as like his background for like press interviews.
Cool.
So like somebody was standing there with like a handheld camera. You could kind of see it like wavering a little bit, and then like the background moves right with him. It has that whole like parallax sort of effect. But yeah, man, you gotta watch Army of the Dead. Craig says it wasn't like replacing Millhouse, Fall Out Boy, and Radioactive Man. Where the hell is Millhouse? My eyes, the goggles do nothing. I don't know what episode you're referring to. My Simpsons knowledge does not even come close to yours.
I think isn't Millhouse Bart's like best friend with the blue hair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I still can't believe that show's on.
Simpsons always makes me want to eat donuts.
Yeah. Donuts and drink beer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, what have you been watching lately?
So I just watched an entire season of Survivor on
The
Netflix.
first one?
No, season 28.
Is that like what it's currently at?
Yeah, there's only like 2 seasons on Netflix, but it's the season that had Cliff Robinson on it.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
He
Cliff.
died last year, didn't he?
Yeah. Yep, R.I.P. Yep. It was pretty good. I watched that. Been watching Mayor of Easttown. I've been rewatching Entourage.
Okay.
Love that show still. I feel like Adrian Grenier has kind of like the same reputation as Hayden Christensen in terms of like being a part of a character that made him big and then being scrutinized afterwards for not being a very good actor. But I just love, just like I love Star Wars, not as much as Star Wars, but I love Entourage. It's such a good show.
Yeah. I never watched the movie though.
It's okay. It's just like a extended episode, more or less. It's like somebody pasted 3 episodes together.
Okay. One guy in Saskatoon, Canada got his Zack Snyder Justice League 4K Blu-ray already. See, I was late to ordering mine. Like I was... And sure, it's on HBO Max, but like... Damn, Warner Brothers. I was sort of holding out, hoping that they would have like a North American release, but like I pulled the trigger and ordered the Steelbook edition on eBay. It's a UK release. Costed a little bit more coin. But
what are you gonna do with it when you get it?
What do you mean?
Well, you want that physical media. What are you gonna do when you get your mitt on that thing?
I'm gonna hold it. I'm gonna look at it.
Are you gonna open it?
Oh,
give me
yeah.
Give me the play-by-play.
You're so dumb.
Oh, man.
It's late, man.
Been waiting for that Blu-ray.
Well, yeah, it says
Sleep
ETA for
with
shipping
your
expected by like June 29th.
Shoot, they can't get anything out on time right now.
No.
Don't you dare pre-order anything. Pre-orders are a thing of what, 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Can't pre-order anything and get it on time these days.
Right. Well, Craig, the eBay seller is, I think, a Canadian seller. So.
Right. Oh yeah.
I'm not trying to like say it's Canada's fault that I'm getting my Blu-ray late. I'm just saying I remember when I
don't blame Canada.
Right. Our neighbors to the north. Well, I mean, where
your friend, buddy.
Where we live, you could drive due east and reach Canada.
Right.
So,
have you watched The Bad Batch?
No.
No.
Hayden was great in Glass and Life as a House.
He was in Glass?
I don't know. I haven't seen any of those or any of that or that.
You've seen Glass.
Well, he says glass in life as a house. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen Hayden in anything. He's going to be in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series, which is pretty sweet. You know, I still think back to when we went to Star Wars Celebration in Orlando, and there was this gentleman in front of us in the auditorium, and he had his like digital camera from like 2006, and this was just like 3 years ago, and he was just like holding it up, videoing the projector screen in the corner when like Hayden Christensen's like 70 feet in front of us walking out onto a stage. Yeah. And he's just looking at the screen, filming it, and not looking at him walking across the screen, and just yelling, Hayden!
Dude,
Hayden!
He's trying to get that physical media, man.
Oh, that would be digital. It's
no,
MP4 file on his camera. He
wanted it on his camera, though.
Right.
Yeah, it's like that's every single person at any concert nowadays ever. It's like,
right. I know, it's ridiculous.
I have to capture every moment of this show because I have no memory, apparently.
Right. I mean, I've done it before. You know, like I want to capture like the entire song of a band, and then it's just like, when's the last time I watched that video?
Right.
You know.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's weird. You know.
Hayden!
Shattered glass is what he was referring to.
I was going to say, I was like, Mr. Glass? Sam Jackson? I haven't seen either of those movies. I'm going to have to get on those.
He's going to use that as a coffee coaster. What do you think? On Blu-ray.com, it says it'll be out in Canada in July 20th. Okay. Interesting. Well, if there's like I don't really like the Blu-ray cover art of the UK release. Like just the way Darkseid looks, it looks a little weird. And I love this. I love the steelbook. It kind of has, you know, it has all the characters sort of like pointing up. I don't know. It just looks. I think it looks a lot cooler. So that's why I wanted to go with that one. But yeah, if there's anything exclusive to like the one that's, if it comes out in like North America between like Canada and the US, like I'll get that one too, just as kind of like a collector's item. You know, another coffee coaster. But yeah, so we're having a yard sale this weekend. Started yesterday.
A yard sale or a garage sale?
Garage sale, sorry. And so like my wife's been doing it while I've been at like work all day, each day. And like I was going through my sort of Blu-ray collection last night, and I noticed I have Lord of the Rings on DVD, Blu-ray, and then I recently got that 4K trilogy box.
Yeah.
It's like, and then I was just looking at, well, like I have 2 versions of The Force Awakens, and I have 2 versions of like Watchmen, and you know, it's like once you start getting like 4K movies and like replacing Blu-rays, it's like this is just getting ridiculous. You know, it's just like I have 2 copies of the same movie. When am I ever going to watch the lesser version of that? So it's just like
never.
Right. Shit, I probably won't even watch the physical copy. I'll just pull up like movies.
Put it under your pillow.
Yeah.
You'll just hold it and caress it. Smell it.
Right.
You got to open it up and get that code in there.
Yep, you got to take that digital code.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, I was talking to someone last. No, I was talking to somebody about just like physical media and how like video games, they'll, you can still buy the physical disc, but as soon as you put the disc in, it like makes you download like 50 gigabytes of like bullshit.
Right.
So it's like, what's the point of like getting the disc? But at the same time, it's just like, well, you actually own the thing, where like if you buy it digitally on like their game store, or the same with like movies online, you don't really own it. You're just sort of like, you have rights to the license in their library. It's just like, it might as well be, it's basically the same as like subscribing to like Netflix, but you don't have a monthly subscription fee.
I look at it like, if something ever goes wrong with my profile, like whatever my profile is that has these licenses all unlocked on it and activated and everything else, then worst case scenario, I have all these discs that have the licenses on them, right?
Yeah.
So why not? If it's the same price, like, I get it if it's like a much better deal to have a digital copy. If it's like half or a quarter of the price, then all right, cool. But if I can have the physical copy for the same price, I'm gonna go for that every time. Plus, then I can, have it in my possession and look at it. Peel the cellophane, the shrink wrap plastic off of it.
Yeah. Well, it's like Dexter, you just go by your Blu-ray case and you just rub your fingers along the spines of the cases.
So my DVDs, I had not a excessive collection. I mean, probably less than 100 easily, but it was taking up space, and I actually gave up on the idea that I was going to need the cases at any point in the future, but I couldn't find my strength in me to sell them or throw them away or whatever. Like, so I bought to make it more compact, I bought a sleeve, like a book, but with sleeves and whatnot. Keep it in that. It's more portable that way.
Yeah. Well, it's like my entire collection is in the basement, and
like where my box getting all dusty.
Yeah, where my TV that I watch everything on, and where like my Blu-ray player is upstairs. It's just like, I don't know. Sometimes I just don't have it in me to run downstairs to choose something, bring it back up, and put it in. But
you gotta cherish them.
Yeah,
you do.
But like, I'd like to turn this room into like, it's a small kind of like room, but like it could fit like a love seat couch. Mm-hmm. So like where my desk is here, I would put like a love seat, and then on this wall, like right behind me, I'd put like a 75-inch or something like that. Or I even considered like a short throw projector, and just put that on like an entertainment stand. And that way I can have like a 100-inch screen. It would just pretty much like take up like most of the wall.
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty rad.
Oh, yeah.
Craig says, I still have the extended editions of Lord of the Rings on DVD, and that's all I have, and it's fine. Old man yells at cloud.
Yeah. Yep.
Shit, dude. Those extended versions, man. It's like 4 hours long. I mean, yeah, Zack Snyder's Justice League is that too, but sometimes when I watch the extended editions, like whenever like a new scene or sequence pops up, it just kind of like, whoa. I forget about it because I'm so used to watching the theatrical versions, the way Hollywood is going, I'm glad I can just go back to my physical media because most of everything coming out looks like crap. Dude, I mean,
No
just
doubt.
look at like Warner Brothers, like digital, like HBO Max release stuff that they've put out. I mean, what did they put out first? I guess Wonder Woman, right?
Yeah.
Wonder Woman 84? Man,
You-
oh my God. I still can't believe that movie ended up being like that.
You know who's in Wonder Woman 1984?
Who?
Lion Beckwith.
No, he's not.
Yeah, he is. He played Buzzcut in Wonder Woman 1984.
Who would that? I don't even know who that would have been.
You don't know about Buzzcut?
No.
Well,
Okay.
You gotta look him up, man.
But I mean, I'm not going to look it up, but I'm just talking about Warner Brothers releases. I mean, Wonder Woman 1984 was shit. The Little Things, Denzel Washington, Jared Leto, I think that's been the best thing that's come out. Well, I guess there was Judas and the Black Messiah, and that did win Daniel Kaluuya Best Supporting Actor. So I haven't watched that. I need to watch that at some point, but I don't think it's on HBO Max anymore. Tom and Jerry, another one of those like animation live action hybrids, you know. Godzilla vs. Kong. I had fun with that. I thought it was entertaining, but I didn't think the story was very good at all.
Didn't you say that you thought Kyle Chandler deserved to be nominated for an Oscar for that?
I did not say that. He's hardly in the movie, man.
Oh, man.
He's hardly in the movie.
Just think they could be making like additional seasons to Bloodline. They're making that movie.
Yeah. Mortal Kombat wasn't any good.
No.
The first 7 minutes that they released like a week before the movie came out was the best part of it.
Exactly.
I was just hoping for more of that sort of tone, but then it's just like they totally shit the bed.
Mm-hmm.
I still think there could be potential with a sequel, like if you just get a different writer and director. Like I have no real issues with like the cast, really.
No
But-
issues with the cast. What about the main character, the protagonist of the movie?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I didn't care for him.
God.
Yeah, that was just a weird choice to use him as the lead, you know. I get they wanted to like do a family sort of like dynamic, something more relatable, but like nobody's giving a shit about that stuff going to watch Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, the problem with Mortal Kombat is it's not relatable.
Yeah, right.
People need a family dynamic in Mortal Kombat. Come on, guys. You're right. I know. We'll take Liu Kang. We'll make him the same age as Kung Lao. And we'll only give him like 6 lines in the whole movie.
Yeah,
And then we won't have Johnny Cage in it at all.
right. Have you watched Lord of the Rings Extended Edition with actor commentary? It's hilarious. I haven't. I should watch that sometime. You know, it's a really good commentary as Ben Affleck's Armageddon commentary. I mean, just watch a clip on YouTube, man. He's talking
Right.
about like the concept of like getting oil drillers to like plan a nuclear bomb inside of an asteroid. It's just like he rips the whole like plot of the movie apart. It's hilarious.
Yeah, but he explains it's the whole like hold a firecracker in your hand thing, man.
I know, but he's
Dude from The Patriot tells him.
yeah, but the fact that it's easier to just get oil drillers to become astronauts instead of astronauts to learn how to drill a hole, it's ridiculous. Anyway, Craig says, FYI, your gray background makes me think there are bugs on my TV at times. Yeah, I know. I got these little like floaters. You can't really see them here, but it's just kind of like floating particles to give it a little bit of a, I don't know.
It's adding that Zack Snyder effect, man.
Yeah, like dust, floating dust particles, I guess.
Yeah. Getting that tone.
Back to MK. I have an issue with the dude who played Liu Kang. He came out and said Lord of the Rings should have an Asian representation. My wife watches her Chinese soap operas and they are all Chinese, no other people. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's like, it's ancient, like it's taking place like thousands. It's not even like, yeah, sure, it's fiction, right? But still, it's sort of representing kind of like, I don't know, the United Kingdom, I suppose, like 5,000 years ago or 10,000.
Basically Europe.
Yeah. And I mean, you have those other armies of Sauron that show up in the Return of the King, and they are different races. But I mean, I get what the actor's saying, but at the same time, like Craig, like what you're pointing out is true too. It's just the representation on screen is like they're representing like a certain territory of the population on that part of Middle Earth, I guess. But yeah, I mean, it's going to have a lot of elves. We know the elves in.
Do you think that if they don't have the goblins in one of the movies, then they'll be pissed that there wasn't any goblin representation?
No.
Or we need some I don't know. What else? Berries.
Strawberries.
We need taters.
Yeah, I am curious, like, how much is going to take place. Like, it's the second age, right? So it's leading up to that big battle we see in sort of the prologue of Fellowship.
You know what's the key to making good movies? Get people that want to be in the movie. If you get people that are like, I want to be in it, and they're passionate about the project, that's when you get a successful movie. That's why Henry Cavill's a great Superman and great at pretty much everything he does because he's a passionate actor.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise. You know?
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
What's taters, Precious?
Yeah. I love it.
I am pretty stoked for that series though. Like seeing kind of, all the rings going out to everybody. Man and the dwarves and the elves and all of that.
Yeah, like the if they capture kind of the downfall of the is it the men that fall that become the wraiths?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they did get J.A. Bayona to direct like the pilot or like the first 2 episodes, and he did Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. That movie, man. that movie broke me as a movie reviewer. So when that came out, I was like reviewing.
Why they called it Fallen Kingdom?
Yeah, that movie, it broke me. Like I was reviewing all sorts of movies, like I think it was like 2018 when that came out. And I don't know, like I just gave up.
Was that Bryce Dallas Howard's last acting gig before she started just directing stuff?
I don't know. I mean,
Not
maybe.
really an important question, but
No, but anyway, it's just that movie was just ridiculous on all levels, and like I thought Jurassic World was like, I was entertained, but it's not like the movie that I like hoped it would be.
Well, those movies are basically just like the Godzilla and Kong movies now.
Yeah,
When Jurassic Park came out, it was special because when you saw what they did with that new technology and saw those dinosaurs on the screen for the first time, you had the same sense of wonder as those people on that island in the movie looking at those dinosaurs like, wow, look what they did. This is a miracle, and you've kind of felt a fraction of that, a good amount of that when you're watching that movie. But now you can't tap into that. That's not there. There's nothing there that's like, we're desensitized. We're no longer wowed by seeing dinosaurs on the screen anymore. So they got to figure out, what are they going to do with the Jurassic Park? If they're going to do anything, they got to figure out how to make it worth our time.
yeah,
Either with a good story or some good, like a good plot situation. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, it's always just survive, like escape and save yourselves somehow. And it's like, how do you make that interesting again? Because you can't recreate the first one with the magic of Spielberg and John Williams, because that's just not happening.
yeah. Well, that's why Jurassic World, they decided to make it a kids winning a trip to, or not winning a trip, going to visit their aunt, who is Bryce Dallas Howard, and then they just get caught in the mix.
Have you seen this series on Netflix with the, what is it, Cretaceous something?
I put on an episode for my daughter, and I was kind of surprised by it. I was like, this isn't all that bad.
Is it a little scary?
Oh, no.
No?
I mean, it might be more for like a 6-year-old.
I looked at the trailer. I haven't seen it like in a long time, since maybe I first initially saw it pop up on there. But when I first looked at it, I was like, dang, that's seems like that'd be pretty scary for kids.
Yeah. Back to Lord of the Rings. If they make Gandalf a woman, I'm out. Yeah, there was a report that they were, I don't know if they were considering it or they're potentially doing it, something like that. That they were gonna gender swap Gandalf for the series on Amazon.
All right, I'm out too.
Yeah. Apparently they got rid of the Tolkien advisor that knew everything about Tolkien, and they got rid of the artist that drew the stuff for Jackson's and Lord of the Rings and multiple Lord of the Rings art and books. Well,
are these the people from Warner Brothers?
No, Amazon.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, Amazon bought the rights for like a shit ton of money.
Right.
But like, I think Tolkien's his son was like managing the estate and everything like that, and I think he died recently, and so like things have just sort of like he was sort of like the protector of a lot of stuff. And yeah, it sounds like things are just kind of getting
The Lord
messy
of the
with
Ring.
it. Yeah. Right. But like I think he even like wrote some of like the Silmarillion or something like that.
Where was he when they were losing their footing with Jackson doing the Hobbit movies?
Yeah, I don't know.
For God's sakes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind those.
They're not awful, but they're not as good as The Lord of the Rings.
No.
They could have been. Could have been on par.
Yeah, you can tell that like they didn't have the time that like, you know, Jackson didn't nurture them enough, you know. And originally, Guillermo del Toro was gonna do it, and for whatever reason he stopped, or left it, and then Peter Jackson took it back and was like, I guess, rushing to like to complete it. Like he didn't have enough time, and I guess that's what maybe led to doing like CG orcs instead of practical, which that's some of my biggest complaints about it, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is just visual. It visually doesn't, it doesn't, when you watch them like back to back, like Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit films, like it's like the original Star Wars and
the Hobbit movies
the prequels.
Look more like on the same visual level as like the Warcraft movie. You know, it's like, remember that Warcraft movie that came out?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. But anyway, you are correct. There are no current wow factors in Hollywood like Jurassic Park, Terminator, Alien, Predator. There are no new ideas. When was the last time you saw a film that had something new?
Well, yeah. I was talking about this the other day. Not to get on too long of a topic here,
they're doing another Predator movie with the female lead now. Because
the Adrian Brody one was so good.
I actually don't mind that one all that much.
Never seen it, but
the
lack of
the last one that was what's his name? Shane Black.
Oh, Shane Black.
Yeah. Oh my God, that Predator movie is one of the worst things I've seen in the last couple of years, man. It's so bad. But yeah, I mean, Jurassic Park, Terminator, Alien, Predator, those are all franchises that have been milked dry for the last 30 years. Well, longer than that. Predator is what, 79 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, Disney has the rights for Predator, I believe Predator and Alien. So they got that Fox asset now. Hobbit should have been 2 films. There was still a hell of a lot of care and work done, but not as good as Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, it's just a quality thing. It's just like the attention to detail.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I watched them. I watched all 3 Hobbit films maybe a little bit before Christmas, and I was like, man, these are better than I last remember. But like visually, it was just like, man, why couldn't he have done it like how Lord of the Rings looks? You know, more practical.
I didn't like the way the Desolation of Smaug ended. The way he's like, I mean, it's super cliffhanger style, but like,
yeah,
that seems more like the way like an episode.
Oh, right, how he busts out of
series would end rather than a theatrical film. You know, like, it's just like, jeez.
Yeah, he busts out of.
Then you gotta wait a year or whatever to watch the 3rd installment. It's like, what? But you know, once you have them all 3 that you can watch, it's okay.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, they did a great. I thought they did a great job with Smaug.
I think this is in reference to predators taking our DNA to improve themselves. They are hunters. That is all. Yeah, Predator. I mean, it's just the whole Predator franchise. It just got so ridiculous. Like, I guess The Predator, which came out in like 2018, they introduced super predators, which they're like 8 feet long and like 350 pounds.
Is that like a super shredder?
Basically, yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if they cast Kevin Nash to play the damn thing.
Babies.
Yeah. But
Kevin Nash, Diesel, Big Diesel.
yeah.
No, he's gonna be in Frosty the Snowman 3.
That's the third actor that
Well,
you've referred to playing that.
he probably tried to get Dwayne the Rock to do it, and he turned it down because he knew it was a freaking terrible idea.
Yeah. I have had a kind of like hard time like Dwayne Johnson, man, like I don't know. It's just like his movies all sort of feel the same, you know? It's just like he's never done a movie where it's like just do a drama, or he'll do I guess an action comedy. Like, what was that one he did with Kevin Hart? You know, it's just like,
see it.
What
What about
like
Baywatch?
that was
You didn't like
terrible.
Baywatch?
Terrible.
Well, what do you mean? That was a good movie. You didn't
Terrible.
think it was good when the guy got his schlong stuck in the picnic table or whatever, or his ball stuck in the
I don't even
picnic
remember
table?
what happened.
Oh, come on now. You probably have that on physical media, don't you? You're waiting for your copy from Canada still. And they had
There's my thumbnail.
you look like you're just taking a shit. It's basically what that movie did.
Yeah.
God, it was bad. You know that it's a bad movie when you get a character from the original series, i.e. David Hasselhoff, to appear in the film. And when he makes his appearance, they literally don't pull any punches or hold back at all. They just play the theme song. You know what I mean? Like, there's just no, they had no shame, there's a general lack of integrity, and there were no lows that they wouldn't stoop to.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I guess it's fan service, but it's also cheesy. The cheesiest thing on the face of the earth.
yeah. What really chapped my ass was
Is that what that face was? Your ass was chapped?
was that the Ghostbusters remake, when they put Bill Murray, who plays Winston.
Mm-hmm.
That actor was in it.
Oh,
I don't think Dan Aykroyd was in it, but they put both of those actors in it to just make stupid cameos.
what about Rick Moranis?
No.
He's the glue that holds the Ghostbusters together.
Yeah.
Wasn't he on like a Super Bowl commercial or something?
Well, he's Ryan Reynolds got him back to do something. But I guess he's going to be in a new Honey, I Shrunk the Kids thing for like Disney or something like that.
Nice.
Dwayne Johnson just doesn't have the same charisma as Arnie. Central Intelligence was okay. Yeah, that's the one I was referring to with Kevin Hart's Central Intelligence. Yeah, I mean, like, as of late, man, like, I definitely like what, if we're talking like wrestlers or, I mean, Arnold's.
Yeah.
I think Arnold.
Type of charisma.
Yeah. Arnold, he had sort of his own unique thing, but like Dwayne Johnson, man, he definitely has more of like a showman type charisma, you know, like kind of hams it up a bit. But like if we're talking wrestler to wrestler, or even wrestler to wrestler to wrestler, like Dwayne Johnson, Dave Bautista, and John Cena. I think Dave Bautista is doing a hell of a lot better job than those other two yahoos.
Right.
Like he had that small role in Blade Runner 2049 at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
I thought he was good in that, and then he sort of had that like fight sequence with Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, that's great.
I think he's just taking a lot better roles. Like, sure, he might not be as strong of an actor as The Rock, but it's not like The Rock really stretches his acting capabilities anyway. But
yeah.
like, Batista was in what Bond movie was that? The last Bond movie that came out.
Spectre.
Yeah, Spectre. He's gonna be in Dune this fall as one of the Harkonnen. The spice melange.
Never gets old.
But yeah, I just think Batista's doing a great job with like picking good roles and not
must
sort
have
of
a great agent.
Probably.
Okay.
And then you got John Cena.
Dumpster fire.
Yeah. Man, that Fate of the Furious, man. Oh my God. I couldn't believe what I was watching on screen. I could not believe it.
Well, have you seen, like, if you watch the best of The Rock on YouTube or whatever, you know, be like the greatest moments of The Rock, like, the guy just drips and oozes charisma. He's so funny. I just smile ear to ear and laugh out loud watching him. But it's just a different type of entertainment than, you know, going on the big screen and having to carry the film on your shoulders like that. Even in stuff like Ballers on HBO, like that show, it's pretty dramatic in terms of the way he needs. Oh yeah, but yeah, Dwayne, he's getting there. Like he's all. I don't think there's anything wrong with him starring in movies. He deserves to be there. It's just like he's not the best, you know.
Yeah, I just think that like all of his movies sort of feel the same, you know. Like he's pretty much playing the same character.
Yeah,
just
he's not a chameleon. Like
no,
it's hard for him to do everything.
Yeah.
Just like if I was gonna have now, like I would have said that Sandler, like somebody like an Adam Sandler or like a Jack Black or like, you know, those guys, they've shown that they could be diverse, I guess, too. But Arnold, that's a pretty good comparison to Dwayne. But
I don't know. It's just like there was San Andreas, that Rock movie. Then there was Skyscraper, Rampage, Baywatch. I just feel like he's the same guy, you know. It's the same guy.
Journey to the Center of the Earth 2? Wasn't that one?
Yeah. I don't mind that Brendan Fraser one. It's been a while since I saw it, though.
Do you think that Dwayne Johnson is the new Brendan Fraser?
It's possible.
He filled the void where we... Do you think that if Brendan Fraser could have stuck around, that he would be in these roles like Baywatch? I want that. I would have liked to see that alternate reality happen where we had a Baywatch movie with Brendan Fraser in it.
Yeah. But like The Rock doesn't really do anything edgy.
Nah.
You know, where like
he's wholesome, man. He's always the hero.
Right. Where like Arnold would do like you know, like a movie like Total Recall.
Yeah, The Running Man.
Right. All sorts of stuff.
Kindergarten Cop.
Well, that's more in line with something that like Dwayne Johnson would do, but like
Junior.
Yeah. All right. You're not helping my case. Jingle all the way.
Jingle all the way, baby. I was gonna say.
How's it going, man? Thanks for stopping by.
He goes all out in that movie. He goes around the traffic jam, goes onto the shoulder of the road. He needs to get that action figure, and he gets in trouble. That's got some edge to it.
Oh yeah, he gets pulled over and he misses his son's karate chopping competition.
Yep.
Oh, that's funny. I think The Rock should have been cast as Shazam. I could see that.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm still not entirely sold with Zachary Levi. I think he looks fine as Shazam. It's just his like personality that sort of puts me off a bit. And like the personality between Billy and when he turns into Shazam, it's like totally different, you know. It doesn't feel like that kid in like an actual adult body. It feels like a different kid.
What do you think about his muscles?
What do you mean, the ultra padded suit?
Yeah. Let's get to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
You think that's knowing that it's not authentic? Doesn't that kind of take away a little bit? Distracting?
I mean, it's sort of I mean, he got a lot of criticism, I think, before, but I think the guy did work out, but he's not nearly, you know, in line with like Henry Cavill as like Superman when he's just like massive.
Right. You see these other guys just getting ripped. You see like the Hugh Jackmans, the Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah. Well, even like Ray Fisher as Cyborg, that guy got huge. And, you know, he's pretty much wearing a motion capture suit the entire time while he was filming. And then, you know, he's just digitally having painted on like his cyborg body parts. You know what I mean? But yeah, I know what you're saying. I don't really care too much though. But yeah, he looks pretty padded, you know.
Mm-hmm. Definitely not a 40-pack.
No. All right. Well, I think we can wrap it up there, man. I've been going for almost an hour and 55 minutes at this point. So,
Yeah.
time to hit the hay. Craig, thanks for stopping by. My Universe Comics, thanks for stopping by. Maybe might be putting out a video tomorrow morning. Zachary did bulk up a bit, but the suit has more padding than Superman's suit. It looks off. Yeah, it does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he has kind of a skinny neck. You know, what are these?
Much.
What are these? The deltoids? The traps? He needs to work on the traps. He needs to fill it in so it's not just like a straight line. Anyway.
Well, it makes him look like he's on like one of those like superhero high school movies on Disney.
Superhero High.
Some dumb
Or Super High.
Disney original
Something like
movie superhero, dude.
Yeah, is that one with Kurt Russell?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They may have been leaning into a little bit of that cheese, though. But
well, shit, Ant-Man's not buff. I mean,
No.
you gotta adapt the comic, I guess. But
yeah.
yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, we will wrap it up there, guys. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next